Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I got some exciting news. We have new card reveals. It has been a while. So they have finally curbed our appetite slightly. So today they released the first of a two-part series. It's on the official Cyberpunk TCG website. If you want to check it out yourself, I can leave a link in the description below. But yeah, it's kind of funny. I just did 3 days ago. I just put out a video where I kind of break down the color identities and what they look like they're supposed to be doing. And here we go from the developers themselves. The color tree, part one. This one goes over red and green. So I'm not gonna like read through the whole thing. It's a neat read though. It's fairly short, so feel free to check it out. But there are four cards revealed in here. I will highlight a few things though as they come up if I see it. And I will say I these previews did come out while I was at work today, and I peeked at them, but I haven't really got to sit and like brew, if you will. So I'll kind of come at you with some fresh perspective on it. I already forget what they do, I think, for the most part. Yeah. So so let's see here. So a little bit about what red does. Let's see how close we were. The color of maximization. Uh, red prefers to take its fights head on and win through sheer power, resilience, and direct destruction. So that's interesting. So I did call that right. I mean, I guess that was probably pretty obvious, though. That was the direction red was going. But we were correct about that. And the gig values to be as high as possible. So we called that as well. So rolling stuff like the D10 and D12 earlier in the game. But anyway, first card reveal, we have Royce. Don't call me Simon. I did blow him up a little bit. So 2 RAM, 5 cost. Ganger, Maelstrom. Upon playing, defeat a rival unit with power 2 or less. Now we'll stop right there because that's already pretty incredible. All the blockers in the game right now that, barring like Goro, the high cost one, but I think all the we're gonna see a lot of weenie blockers that can just like generically go into your decks, and this guy just blows them up. So it's pretty good. It changes the way if your opponent reveals like a red legend, it's gonna change the way you play. You can't just drop one blocker and say I'm safe next turn because this guy could come down and completely mess up the math that you had thought was going to work out for you. So I really like this card. Now it goes on a little further to say if you have more street cred than a rival, defeat a rival unit with power 3 or less instead. So it gets a little bit wider of a range if you have higher street cred, which you should, unless it's like a mirror match. And you're both rolling your highest dice, and your opponent rolls a little higher than you naturally. But it seems like Red's going to be pretty good at making their street cred high. So I don't know how much the 2 to 3 jump matters, but I mean, it's certainly not a bad thing. I mean, it actually matters quite a bit because we already have like Swordwise Hustle and T-Bug and stuff that are like the best early game cards to play with at the moment. So just being able to nuke one of those on like your second turn of the game really slows your opponent down. Or just later in the game, getting around the blockers. I think it's uh, I think it's really good. It has 4 power, so nothing crazy there, but like it's respectable. It can be buffed up a little bit. You can throw a Manus Blades on it, and now it can beat a Swordwise Hustle or T-Bug, like I said. So not too shabby. The keywords don't really matter yet, but we've seen a lot of Arasaka support, so we can only imagine the rest of the gangs and groups and stuff will get some representation. So let me jump back over here. Um, Yeah, nothing to really read there that jumps out. So this one is a program card called Carnage at the Coliseum. It is another brain dance. I know a lot of us have been excited to see more brain dance cards and see how that's going to play out with the synergies as the archetype kind of unfolds for us. So it is a 6 cost, so it is a hefty program, and it requires 3 ramps. So you need to be a red heavy deck to utilize this card. But 6 costs, right? But you can play this program for 1 less Eddy for each friendly gig with 8 plus value that you have, to a minimum of a 1. So you can't make it a 0 cost. But yeah, so if you have like your D20 is sitting at 20, and your D12 is a 12, and your D8 is an 8, just to keep it simple. You can, did I hit them all? 8, 10, 12, 20. So there's 4 dice that you can roll yourself that can give you a -4. And then that's not to mention what you steal from your opponent. That might be 8 and up. So getting it to a 1 cost isn't crazy unheard of, but even just playing it for like 3 or 4 doesn't feel so bad. And so what it does is defeat a rival unit with less power than a friendly unit. Pretty good. So later in the game, um, you have like, yeah, you have some massive unit out, and it can be buffed with gears. So we could be talking about Armored Minotaur, who's a 9, throw Manus Blades on it. It's an 11. Like, you're getting rid of most stuff. So it's really nice to have more destruction there that hits a little higher. I think it's going to be important to have removal tools like this in the game, because we're already seeing stuff like Jackie kind of get out of hand. So this still doesn't necessarily deal with Jackie very well, but it's a start. Okay. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to elaborate on. I do like that it's a brain dance, so you can actually attack with Alt and remove her from the game to play this from the trash for free, which is also interesting. Yeah, because it's an expensive card, so finally getting to see some of the payoff of like Alt, for example, and just the brain dance stuff in general. All right, so now it gets into green. Green's core logic is all about alignment. It wants to form pairs of gigs with the same value number, match gig values with unit powers, and maintain either odd or even street cred, and isn't afraid to steal and manipulate to get the numbers it needs. Okay. Green is also characterized by speed. It likes to spend rival units to open them up to attacks, directly defeat spent units, and attack immediately. So we were kind of right on this too. Again, it might have been obvious to a lot of you, but I did touch on pretty extensively that green was looking to be more about spending units and not really destroying them outright. So each color has its own way to deal with threats, and green was definitely looking like it just spent, and that's a power. Honestly, I've played my fair share of card games, and just tapping their board down and swinging through directly is really strong. Like, you just ignore their threats and hit around them. So it's a perfectly valid strategy, and it's a very strong one. It's usually paired with like aggro themes, so get a bunch of units down, spend their guys down, take a bunch of gigs. Seems like a really fair strategy. Like, everyone wants to have a 20 power Jackie that swings twice with Pan but like, what about just having like 6 dudes and turning their Jackie or their only blocker sideways and winning that way? Is pretty good as well. So enough yapping though. Let's talk about, we got Oda, kind of a fan favorite. I just fought against him in my second playthrough the other day and forgot how hard he was. Guy's kind of a beast. So he is a 2 ram, 7 cost green unit. So this is important. This kind of gives me some Placide vibes. He's pretty splashable. You just need one green legend and he's in. He's easy, man. He's in. 7 cost, a little chunky, but I do like this keyword right here, Arasaka. So we got another Arasaka unit. I was mentioning we needed some more of those. We knew they were coming. So when you play it, you can spend a rival unit for each friendly value pair of gigs that you have. So value pair being like they don't have to have the same number of sides, but just the same value. So if my D4 is a 4 and my D6 is a 4, then it can spend one rival unit. And for each pair like that, you can spend an additional. So, yeah. I mean, it's a little tricky to set up. It's just one of those things, right? You'd have to be smart about which gigs you steal from your opponent. Because, like, if you have a 4, you roll a 4, and then they got a 4 sitting over there, you might want to prioritize that 4. Um, there's going to be ways to adjust your gigs too. We've already seen it, but there's another card coming up that kind of plays with this as well. But additionally, this unit can attack rival units the turn it's played. That's another theme that seems to be very important with green. So tap them down, and it is strong, right? Your guys can't attack the turn they come out. So green has this thing where, because I think it'd be broken if there was like a haste. Haste is from Magic, where the unit can attack. It's a keyword. The unit can attack the turn it's played. And they're pretty strong. I think if they start doing that too much in this game, it could get a little hairy for some cheap wins. But I'm totally fine with this, where they can attack a rival unit the turn that they're played. I think that sets up some really sneaky plays. And I like that both of his abilities like synergize. So he's like an all-in-one synergy package, right? So he can come out, spend units, and then attack those units. And he's pretty big. He's an 8 power. So you throw like a Sandevistan on him, and he's 11. I think he'll deal with things just fine. It doesn't read like insane to me, but I think it's one of those cards that I'd have to play with to see how often the ability comes up. But I think even just spending one opposing unit can sometimes be pretty impactful. So we'll have to see. Again, I don't think this is going toe to toe with Jackie, but because I mean Jackie just gets so big. I hope they nerf that a little bit. Like he could get +1 power for each gig or something, and still probably be pretty good. So, or keep him at +2, but make his base power like 2. I don't know. It's a good card. Anyway, going back in here. Nothing really to touch on in the reading again, but Peace Offering. Another brain dance. So we've seen 2 new brain dances today. I kind of like this card. It's like After Party at Lizzie's and the Industrial something from Red, but this costs 1 and those other ones cost 2. So I never feel like I want to play them. This might actually, I'll probably sell it a lot, but like this is fine to just play if you need to dig a little deeper for your win condition. But anyway, it 1 RAM, 1 cost. You may set a gig's value to the value of another gig, which sounds like it could be another one of your own gigs or another one of your opponent's gigs. So you have a lot of flexibility. So you're copying the value. So if your opponent has a 4, you switch one of yours to a 4. Then if you control a value pair, draw 1. So you're going to, I mean, you don't have to, right? There's other reasons you might use this card. Interesting too, actually. You may set a gig's value to the value of another gig. So that it's super vague. You can set your opponent's gig dice to the value of like one of yours, or set their gig dice to the value of another one of theirs. So if you're playing against red and you want to mess with their street cred because most of their stuff comes online with high street cred, just knock one of theirs down to a one or something. So it does have that flexibility. It works with what your game plan is trying to do in green, while also like in certain instances when you just need to like you're on the back foot and you need to slow your opponent down, certainly can do that too. Okay. But yeah, so it's like pay one, draw a card, and like also fix your gigs a little bit to work with our boy Oda. So yeah, I don't know. We'd have to see what else like what else is out to kind of manipulate gigs, but I could totally see Oda being like a fine end game unit. I was talking a little bit about how green sort of needed a top end. Um, so that's certainly a contender. So yeah, I normally don't drop two videos in the same week, but I figured I'd get my opinions out on these. I thought it was pretty exciting. Um, these are going to be up on the sim if you play the sim, so it'll be fun to try out some new stuff. See if they enhance any broken strategies or help other decks battle those broken strategies a little bit. So I know myself, I'm excited. I just like having another Arasaka unit. Like I really, and I already kind of enjoyed green red as a deck. So these are just four new green red cards to throw in. Um, yeah, I think the Royce is really cool. Probably my favorite, to be honest. But yeah, let me know what you think about the cards. If you come up with any ideas yet on how you want to utilize these cards. But anyway, that's all I got for you today. I just came home and hit record, so it's just real straightforward today. But I appreciate you watching, and I will definitely, as the reveal season kicks off, you might see more like double uploads because I kind of want to just share my excitement as it comes instead of waiting uh, until Tuesday when I normally upload. So yeah, expect to hear more from me. There's a lot that'll be expected. There'll be potential rule changes being put in effect, and yeah, just continuing with the reveals. Um, yeah, just so much to talk about, but it's coming, guys. It's coming. So hang tight. Thanks for sticking with me during the slow times. I will catch you on the next one.